Good.
NANI?
Just in case you weren't caught by surprise.
Living in Melbourne, enjoying life, a mate hanging out. This is our average life. Doing a podcast, talking shit.
No, not this part!
NANI?
Yeah, some would argue that this intro goes a little bit long, but I think it's fine.
Huh?
Some people would say this intro goes on too long, but I think it's fine.
I mean, I did actually think about cutting out the bridge.
Yeah, fair enough.
Is that what it's called? It's called a bridge, isn't it?
Yes. Or the... Yes?
It's
maybe.
It's the bridge between the...
Yes, maybe
It's
the...
not a
Or
clock.
maybe the... Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, welcome back to another confusing episode of the Average Blokes Podcast.
So professional.
Yeah, no, we're professional song makers too, by the way.
No, Jackson. No, don't be ridiculous.
No, sorry, songwriters. Professional songwriters.
You're a professional songwriter.
No, I don't want to claim that. That's terrible. I don't want to claim that I forged someone else's work and just mixed around the lyrics to claim as my own.
Mm-hmm. Whose is that?
Well,
Oh, right, I see what you mean.
well, if
It's
you're
not
gonna
really forging, but
no,
sure.
I mean Simon and Garfunkel. Simon Garfunkel. Simon Garfunkel. Yeah, anyway, those guys, they're not blaming us anytime soon.
Who?
Yes, Simon and Garfunkel, the guys who originally wrote "Hello, Doctor," the Science of Sound. Wow, it's really I've been listening to that much that I'm actually calling it Science of Sound.
The Sound of Silence. And
Yes.
who actually originally wrote it?
Simon and Garfunkel. You know what? I'm gonna find my here. It's right here. Simon and Garfunkel. I'm gonna really figure out who's wrote the song. Simon. Oops.
I shouldn't have put on this long sleeve shirt. It's actually too hot.
Garfunkel. That's his. Yeah, it is Simon Garfunkel.
Simon Garfunkel.
Yes, Sir Simon and Sir Garfunkel.
Well, I had there was a builder on site the other day, right? And
Yeah.
he walks up and he starts talking to me, and he starts talking to like the other tradies, and I'm thinking to myself, in my head, I'm like, "Are you Jewish? You must be Jewish. Surely you're Jewish." And then he starts talking to me about my fence tool vacuum.
Oh, okay.
And he goes, I know the guy who invented the system for that. Oh, I was friends with the guy who invented the system for that. His name was, and he says like Jonathan Astultsky or something like
Okay.
a really Jewish name. Like
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of an actual example of a Jewish name, but like Blotsky or something.
Yeah. I know. Like a pot. It's almost
And I'm
like a
like,
pot. Sorry.
And I'm like, okay, now that definitely confirms that you must be Jewish. I didn't say that to him or anything. I didn't really care, but I'm thinking to myself, he must be Jewish.
Yeah, well, that Dan Avidan from Game Grumps is Jewish, from a Jewish family. Avidan
But,
is a weird name too.
But you know how people sort of have certain accents,
Yeah,
certain way of
yeah,
speaking, and
yeah.
you know the typical, you like mediaized Jewish version is you see here, Pat, is like, oh no, oh dear, oh
See,
my.
apparently in Australia,
Jackson, what you don't understand, Jackson, is
Steen?
we
Wow.
need to figure out
You're from the
how
East Coast.
to get this podcast to a multimedia platform.
You must sound like you're from like New York there for a second, but in Australia.
I was going for like my friend.
It's got the coke stuck in your
like a
mustache,
sniff.
have you?
Don't they do like a sniff? They go, like, I don't know.
Yeah, see?
Yes, but do you understand?
Oh, you're trying to do like the mobster from The Simpsons.
The mobster.
Yeah, the
No, I was doing like I was trying to go for like a
Godfather kind of like thing.
No, it wasn't Godfather. It was nothing like that.
Okay.
Complete like Brooklyn accent,
Oh,
I guess,
Brooklyn.
but Brooklyn
you're from
Jewish
Brooklyn.
accent.
Oh, you're from
No,
New
it's a
Jersey.
Jewish. It's a Jewish Brooklyn accent, Jackson.
New-
Have you
New-
ever heard someone talk like this?
New Jersey, apparently.
Oh
That's
my!
New Jersey's got that kind of accent.
Think of like the nanny, the woman from the nanny.
Oh
Like,
no,
because she's
no.
like I think
No, that's the worst voice ever. Like,
Yeah, but
pierces your
she's
ears.
got that Brooklyn, and I think she's meant to be. I'm not sure if the character or the actor is Jewish, but
Yeah,
I
I
think
think it's
one of them's meant to be Jewish. But she's like that Brooklyn-y Jewish accent.
Yeah.
Oh, I love bagels.
Yes. I'm also a
Anyway,
police
he kind of
officer.
had a bit of that going on, so it was hard to tell whether he was from Australia or not. But I think he still had a bit of an Aussie accent. So.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I was going to say, I read a thing where apparently there is a way you can tell from an Aussie accent who's from where, but like it's only particularly towards one state. And funny enough, apparently South Australia speak the most poshish out of all the Australian,
they do.
which is hilarious because I'm from South Australia, but I'm not from Adelaide. And I
And
sound
Queensland
nothing posh.
speak the most bogan.
Yeah, aye. Yeah, aye. Yeah, nah, aye. Yeah, nah. Oh, yeah, nah, mate.
And then Victorians, we're just normal.
Well, speak for yourself.
Actually,
Oh,
I
yeah.
haven't met many people from the Northern Territory or Tasmania or anything like that.
Neither, to be honest. I've been there,
So,
but
I'm comparing this to like the podcast people that you mentioned who were from Queensland. A few other Queensland people I've heard speak.
We're going back to boxer jockeys.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
Alright.
Yes. So,
I was going to say I've got an unhighlight of the week.
an unhighlight?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't remember what. I think it was like multiple. I can't really remember what they all were, but one of them was my grinder broke, so I had to go pick up a new grinder.
Congrats.
That wasn't fun. Like it was good because I didn't have to work as much, like because I couldn't work. I had to go pick up material and all that, so that saved me having to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. So I don't have to do that, which is nice.
Yeah, fair.
But there was something else. There was something else. What was it?
If I could remember what it was, I'll tell you, but I've forgotten.
But oh well, it doesn't matter. I think that was the main one.
Okay.
And but also at the same time, my highlight of the week was I was listening to our podcast on my way to the warehouse to pick up my grinder. And on the way back, I was also listening to our podcast, and I got to one of the episodes that because I skipped a couple,
Yeah.
and so I listened to the latest ones, but not the ones before that.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So I went back and listened to those, and one of them was me having a rant about that young YouTuber kid. And I was
Yes.
like, oh my goodness, this is the best. Like, this is the funniest shit I've...
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
no, yeah, well, wanking's bad.
My favourite throwaway line is, seek professional help. Yeah, but something about masturbating. Ugh. Yes.
I like funny. I didn't say, but the first thing that comes to mind, which I didn't say in the podcast, but the wank that can't be beat.
It's funny how, because when I listen back to our old episodes, this is very, self-absorbing around ourselves here, obviously. But, I'll listen back to our old episodes and I'll come up with new things to say. And it's like, I could have totally said that. That would have been so much better. But, at the time, it's different.
It reminded me that I need to check in on that guy's channel and see if he's getting more views or
Yeah.
not.
If he's masturbated 4 times a day or a week or whatever it was, I don't...
It was. I remember I can quote myself.
thumbnail.
90 days without masturbating. See the results or something.
Oh, did I mention that? I can't remember if I remember. I might be repeating myself here, but I can't remember if I did.
We
but
do that a little bit. We repeat ourselves.
Someone commented saying, I did this for 19 years. Like, I haven't masturbated for 19 years. But then I turned 20, and then, or something like that. Like...
There's something about turning 20 that just really, you have to do it.
Yeah, but anyway.
Got away with this for 19 years. It's time to finally let one loose.
let it go. Yeah, so that's just your highlights? Is that it?
So, yeah, that's about it.
Fair enough.
That's right. I remember my other not-so-highlight of the week. I did. I recorded an episode of a Let's Play that I did. I recorded myself for 50 minutes playing this Doom-like game that was basically like paper style. You've played Doom, or you've seen Doom.
Yeah, I've played Doom. I've played one.
But it's like a cardboard cutout style.
Oh, okay.
Like art style. And I recorded it for 50 minutes, and I went to look at the video editing yesterday. I spent probably an hour trying to fix the audio issues. You want to know what happened? Somehow, and I have no idea how, and it really annoys me that I can't figure out, like, how would this happen, is when I recorded my audio for it, because I use voice mod, I'd somehow accidentally clicked deep voice. And I'm sitting there going, how is this possible? I'd have to scroll down to all the, because I've got a favourites and custom and all that. I'd have to scroll past that.
I bet I know what happened. I bet I know what happened.
And click on deep voice.
Yeah, but...
So now the whole video, I sound like this.
Do you remember, I'm not sure if it was last episode or the one before, but you had hotkeys for certain voices. So I wonder if you were using WASD.
Not for voices.
Well, I mean...
It wasn't for voices. I didn't do any hotkey for voices,
okay.
It was just the soundboard.
That's funny, though.
So I'm sitting there going, how? And the worst part is, I could fix it so the pitch is almost perfect.
Yeah.
But then it sounds like there's a massive echo in the room.
Oh, fun.
Like it sounds... And I'm sitting there... And even when I fix the pitch, because I fix the pitch, the audio gets shrunk for some reason.
That's brilliant.
So it doesn't line up with my mouth movement. So I'm sitting there going... Do I edit the video anyway with the voice? Do I edit it without the with the pitch shift, or do I just delete the whole thing?
Start again.
I spent multiple ways to try and fix it. It was really frustrating. The good news is I figured out how to export audio from Vegas to Audacity really simply.
Okay.
Like you can set up a media with Vegas. You can set up a media preference,
yes.
like editing preference, and you can just like right-click, go over to transfer, and it transfers it to that media, which is nice.
Nice, yeah. Yeah, well, welcome to the world of recording content and making mistakes, because, it's every two... In the past, every 2 or 3 videos I record, it's like, oh, no, this went wrong, this went wrong. Yeah. I mean, sometimes, like, I just click record and I don't think about things, but... you take that extra moment to check your recording settings and your tracks and your
that's the confusing thing. I'm sitting there going, how is that? I have to scroll down to it and click it manually. Like, is there a hotkey?
That's my bad. That's the only thing I can think of. Because like, if you're using WASD, D for deep.
There's no hotkey. It just does it.
You have to click on it. And I'm sitting there going, did I click on it during any of our podcasts?
Oh, I should have recorded a few things for this episode, but that's okay. It's alright, I'll save it for next time.
Before this episode or for this episode?
For this episode, but it's fine, I can do it next time, it doesn't really matter.
Fair enough.
My highlights, a couple. So I was working away last week, that's why we had no episode. But we did do
that's right.
We did do a video release for our Song Flipper episode. And, like, honestly, it's so great, though. Like, I know you said to me before we recorded, you said it's terrible. But it's a great terrible. Like, it's not...
It is.
It's a great terrible. Because, obviously...
Because I fixed it.
Well, probably.
Did you go with the one I made or with yours?
With mine, because you did yours, and I was like, yeah, that's good. And then I played around with it a bit more, and then sent it back, and you said you liked it, so...
I know.
But it's
still better than... Actually, yeah, I do remember saying it was better than the one I fixed it with, because you were like, the first one you made, you were like, I'm going to turn a song that we know as a rock song, because Disturbed did a cover.
Yes.
And then you went, I'm going to make it smooth, casual.
Yeah, and I was into the examples that I made, I'm like, this is bad. And then you shared the one you shared, and you had a bit more rock to it. I'm like, that's probably better. And, yeah.
Also, the what is it called? What's the AI program called again? Suno. I think a lot of the Suno songs and voices and all that, depending on what style you choose, it sounds better, and it seems to do really well with rock and stuff like that.
Yeah, because I wanted to... I mean, this episode, I was going to aim at, like, let's just highlight and talk about elements of that song, because there's a few good things I liked about it. So, obviously, it was based on the episode, the Song Flippers. If you haven't heard that episode, go back and listen to it. We basically took some lyrics of well-known songs that we both liked. Troy tried doing the Old Town Road, I think it was. You initially tried doing Old Town Road, but then we moved on, and then we did Linkin Park.
The new city something.
And then we tried Linkin Park, and then for some reason
at the start it matters.
And then we went to Sound of Silence. Wow, jeez. And then we just
You just can't.
I keep
get
calling
away
it
from
silence
the
of sound now.
silence.
That's just normal to me now. It's like,
Silence of sound.
so we flipped those lyrics around. We basically made it so whatever the lyric is, we write the opposite. So instead of the sound of silence, we made it the silence of sound. And so like instead of obviously good example is the opening line is instead of hello darkness my old friend, it's hello lightness my new friend. My favourite
come to
bit,
you for the
right?
very
So I
first
think
time.
this Suno's gotten so much
At
better.
some
It's-
bloke's house. Is that your favourite bit?
That's one of them. My cure is disappearing. That's pretty dark, but also pretty funny. Also, grab my leg, it won't reach.
Oh yeah, the LED demons. Our LED demons.
But like, there's just so many elements that I like because obviously, I wondered if the AI knew what we were doing, what song we were basing off. Because like, not only, I mean, the style of music we used for that song is a very different to the original song. But to me, the song style it used was kind of reflective of when that time period of when the original song was released. So it's like I think it's this 80s song, and to me, that AI song we did was probably a little bit late 80s, early 90s type metal. Like it's almost like a hair metal.
Wait, hold on. Are you talking about the Disturbed version or the
No,
actual
our
song?
version. So the original song.
The very original
Yes.
song. Okay, because Disturbed did the cover in like
Yes,
2016, 2011 or something.
Yeah, something like that. But the original was like it was like in the 80s or something.
80s?
Maybe.
Yeah.
So I think the AI knew what we're trying to do with what song we originally were working with, and they based the music theme around that period. Maybe.
I mean, maybe.
It's a stretch in saying that. I know.
But when you choose what style, you like, if you choose rock and alternative, you're going to get 1990s plus. If you just say rock cover,
it's so broad to
you're
say
going to
metal
get maybe
as well.
yeah.
Because it's
Exactly. That's why the more specific you get, the more modern you get as well.
Yeah, correct. My favourite part is like after the first line, like Lightness, my new friend. I like how it goes. We come to chat for the first time. Like it sounded like something a streamer would say. We come to chat for the first time. And it
Hello,
sounds
chat for the first time.
It just sounds so positive because we come to chat
When do you stream, Jackson? Because you stream on the odd occasion.
once a week.
Do you say chat?
Not really. I used to back when I was streaming a lot more. I reckon. But
I reckon if there were more people in the chat, you'd probably maybe say chat.
Yeah,
more.
'cause-
But
yeah.
if there's only one or two people, then you can refer to them by
individualize
person.
them.
Or by name, I mean.
Yeah, it's easier. So yeah, I just like the fact that that song, even though how bad we wrote it, it just was perfection.
I got a question. Why does your Discord thing have the silence of sound underneath it?
Because I'm promoting it.
Wait, is the song there? If I click
No,
on you...
it's not. It's not. I wish it was. That'd be perfect though.
I mean, I can always just go whoosh to our
Oh,
podcast.
I should say, at some point during this episode, I'm going to just cut that song into here.
Hello, lightness, my new friend. I've come to chat for the first time, because reality hardly running left its seeds growing while I was awake. And the reality that was harvested in my brain is no longer there within the sound of silence. In restful nightmares, I walked with lots of people, wide streets of sand. Neath the halo of a stop sign, I turned my color to the warm and dry. When my eyes start stabbing the flash of an LED light that split the day and touched the saw a couple of people, maybe less. People hearing without speaking, people talking without listening. People reading songs that voices shared aplenty. Everyone dared, interrupted the silence of sound. Said, I do no sound. My cure is disappearing. See my action so you won't learn. Take my leg, it won't reach. But my actions like loud snowflakes lifting and whispered in the fountain of sound. And the people cursed to the LED demon they made. And the sign shaded out without warning in the actions that it was dissolving. And the sign didn't say the actions of the prophets are done up the subway stairs and some bloke's house, and shouted in the silence of sound.
And that's
Amazing.
the song. Hope you guys liked it.
Amazing.
So the fun thing I'm trying to do, I don't know if you saw my message to you. I said to you, I bet you would never guess what I'm trying to learn.
Yeah, I totally saw your message. No, I saw that just before earlier on Discord.
Yeah,
I didn't really have time to ask.
That's fair.
Sure, I'll ask. Jackson, what are you trying to learn?
Well, Troy, you'd be glad to know that
You're trying to learn to play guitar. About time.
that song on guitar.
Sorry, piano. Right.
Yes.
Next, you'll be telling me you're learning Japanese.
Nihongo. Yes. No,
What did you call me?
I'm learning. Yeah, you heard me. Nihongo. No, Nihonjin. Yes. I'm calling you a Japanese person. I'm learning our AI song on guitar. It's funny because
how are you learning the AI song on guitar?
it's easy. I listen to the notes and I go, oh yeah, that's easily that note, and then I try to go from there.
I remember when you told me, I learnt to play that song from the game you played, Life and Adventure.
Oh yes.
And I'm like, yeah, I guess that kind of sounds like it. Yeah, that's the song.
And then a YouTuber music creator did the original guy who made the song. I posted on his I commented on that post saying you should do a metal version, and it's like, why have I not thought of this? And then he went and made it.
Did he actually do a metal version?
Yes, and I commented on it saying, I can't believe you actually did it. And he said, well, without your comment, this wouldn't have been possible.
My question is, like, does he not know that the app is using his song, or did they pay for it, or did he post it as free?
Well, he posted it as free because it's his own song. So
no, but do you see, like,
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, the app game is using his content.
I'm assuming he does royalty free, so like if anyone wants to use his songs, he just can. I think that's all it is.
Also, at what point is a song like? At what point? Because they tried to copyright, or people famous songers have tried to like copyright not style but rhythm.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, which is kind of crazy. Like you got these there was the Ed Sheeran case that happened.
Yes.
Was it? Someone said that he copied
his
their
song was trying to copy
rhythm.
So the thing is, right? There comes a point where we're going to. Well, I think we might have already.
And a lot of people like you listen to the songs and you're like, I guess they sound similar, but they sound like completely different songs at the same time. Like,
well, this is the thing though, because like it comes to a point because we've only got so many amount of notes. Like I think it's not 16. Is it 16 notes in an octave? I think it's 16 notes in an octave, and so there's only many variants of music.
Well, I was going to say you've only got like, what is it? How many notes are there actually? They're like 6.
In an octave, though. In an octave.
A,
so
C,
it's
G,
I think it's 16. A, B,
F.
C, D, E, F, G.
But it doesn't really matter. Once you got those, you've only got that many notes in itself. Like, a different octave just makes it sound a higher pitch or a higher tone, right?
Yeah.
So, technically, there's only that many notes.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think there's... Yeah, 15 or 16 notes an octave. I'm not sure. I'm just going off my head. That's okay.
I was thinking about this the other day, and this might sound a little bit controversial, but I was thinking about music and all that, and different notes and different styles and different cultures, and it made me think of the fact that people make the didgeridoo sound like, oh yeah, it's part of Aboriginal culture. It's this amazing, it's amazing
native indigenous
like music tool, and
yeah.
they used to tell stories and this and that. And I'm thinking to myself, they're just like they're blowing into a pipe. It's blowing into a fucking pipe. Like it's not that. The reason why, like, European society, for example, doesn't have it is because they moved on pretty quickly, and the closest thing you'll get to it is the fucking triangle.
You know what's funny? You can actually make your own if you don't throw out your
you can use an actual pipe.
You can use
I've
paper
seen
towel.
people go boom, but with a PVC pipe.
You get toilet paper rolls, the cardboard, stick them all together, and you can make your own didgeridoo. But sure, it won't sound as good, but it'll be close.
But I'm thinking to myself, like, people are like, oh, it's an amazing, like, look at amazing culture, like, truly, like, their painting forms and all that. Oh,
well, to
truly
agree,
amazing.
There is some sort of unique, great.
Look,
I
agree that it's all unique and all that, but to turn around and say, like, oh, it's amazing, it's an amazing instrument and an amazing art form and all that, and they're dot paintings.
Yeah. I mean.
And the thing that irritates me even more, right, is the concept. People talk about the concept of cultural appropriation, like appropriating someone else's culture. And then you look around at buses and things that have Aboriginal, like, painting symbols and all that. And you see, like, Aboriginal paintings at all sorts of places. But the Aboriginals aren't the ones painting it.
That we know.
Like, it's just some guy, like, especially if it's on a bus or something, like, it's just they got a company that does painting, like, or signs and stuff to do it. And it makes me kind of think, like, isn't that considered a cultural appropriation if you're taking something from, like, you can agree that it's Australian culture and it's part of Australian culture, but like,
of course,
where do you draw the line between cultural appreciation and cultural appropriation? Like, there's
well, there's a fine line and balance is required.
And what irritates me is the people who do that kind of shit are the ones who are like, oh no, we appreciate their culture and all that.
Well, there's the thing, because media
appreciate your own damn culture.
Social media and or news media shove it down your throats. Like in AFL and in the NRL, they have a designated round or rounds to the Indigenous culture. And so, obviously it's like, oh, guys, remember, Indigenous people exist here. And there's obviously, it comes times where there's always, like, people make racist remarks, like Adam Goodes got called a gorilla or King Kong, I can't remember. And it was like a 12-year-old girl though, and
is Adam Goodes an Aboriginal man or something?
Yes.
Okay, I was just checking that because all I heard was someone was called a gorilla.
Yes.
But yes, that's not.
So it's kind of tough though, because it's not tough. It's you got to find the right balance, like you were saying, between appropriation and the other one, what you said it was. But the thing is, because we live in such a multi-diverse country now. Like back in the day, you wouldn't be having so many different type of people like we usually. I mean, I've only lived in Melbourne for 7 or 8 years, and before that, I hadn't seen.
A lot different.
I hadn't seen many Indians or Asian people in the country towns where I used to live. So obviously, I'm like, oh yeah, acknowledge that, yes, obviously we live in a bigger place now that there's more diversity. And yeah, it's kind of a cool thing though, because coming from my background, like I said, living in a country town, had no real exposure to foreigners, and then coming to a city, and it's like, oh yeah, there's different types of people, and you come more educated.
But a lot of them aren't foreigners; they're born here.
Oh, that's true. That is very true.
I remember I bought my first car off an Indian bloke, except he was fully Australian, and I remember my mum going like basically, she ended up, she said to the guy, "Were you born here?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, I'm like second generation." She's like, "Yeah, I can tell there's no accent. You've got no accent, and you talk like a banker or something." And he goes, "Oh well, yeah, I did actually used to work at a bank."
Wow, well, what I get.
Also, the way he counted, we paid him in cash, and when he counted the cash, he did like what a bank teller would, like the way they do it, like. But she was surprised because he had no accent at all. And he was only second generation, so.
Because like going back to the didgeridoo, to be like the didgeridoo, it's. I mean, yeah, we were saying like it's just a pipe, but the thing is, like didgeridoo, it's very restricted because it's only tuned.
There's no notes
to one.
You don't do notes.
There is a note. You just can't play chords or anything. It's just one note. So it's.
Oh well, there you go.
It's just, yeah. I can do a didgeridoo sound without having to do a didgeridoo. Yeah, something like that anyway. You're just blowing raspberries. Exactly.
But is it fair for me to say, like, because they bring out someone to do a performance and they play a didgeridoo, is it fair for me to say I kind of prefer it if someone came out with like a guitar and did like a rock song or something, or came out and did something else?
Because you're not disdaining or anything. You're not showing any hatred towards didgeridoos or anything like that.
Yeah, but they're purposely getting out the didgeridoo because it's a representation of Aboriginal culture and all that, okay. And they want to display that at, say, the sporting event or the thing that you're at. So they're like, bring out a guy and play a didgeridoo.
Yeah.
When people don't really want to hear it, like, and it's not that they don't want to hear Aboriginal culture. It's just the didgeridoo is a boring sounding instrument.
Yeah, I think to a well-trained ear, though, there is some elements of a didgeridoo that people can enjoy. Like, I can definitely enjoy a didgeridoo because it's like a bass. Like, if you think about it.
Let me ask you a question. Have you heard any modern music, no matter where it's from, where they've used the didgeridoo in conjunction with other instruments?
Yes, I have.
All right,
Living on. I don't know if you remember this old. It's not that old song, but living on borrowed time, the way to change. It's living on solid. How does it go?
Living. I don't
know. I think it's a 90s song, or it's an Aussie band, and they do have a didgeridoo in their song, and it fits
but does
so
it
well.
Work?
Yes,
it does.
100% works.
Okay, good.
Living on.
See, I wouldn't mind seeing that. I'd like to see that then.
Staying on sacred ground. Yeah, that's the song, but I can't remember what it's called. But that song was so popular that they did an English version, and then there was a version where they sung it in an indigenous language. I can't remember which one, but yeah.
See, that I'd like to see more of that kind of stuff, because they talk about how we're like one nation, or we're multicultural, which I don't really like the idea of multicultural. But if you have a combination of things, we'll do that. Then I'd rather hear that. I'd rather hear like a rock band get up on stage and one dude playing the didgeridoo, and you have like a didgeridoo solo in the song or something.
Yeah.
Or just like instead of the drums, you have that creating the bass, or instead of the bass, I should say, you have that creating the bass and adding to it. Rather than like I haven't seen any events or anything like that where one guy stands up with a didgeridoo, but I can imagine it happening.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like,
I'm
sitting there going,
they do it at AFL games and NRL games.
Yeah.
Where they'll have
so I'd rather see a group performance of multiple people or multiple different things.
Yeah, it's fair. Yeah, because I've had exposure to Aboriginal people, and I think they're cool. Like, they're just like everyone else, really. They're just slightly different skin color, but their ways of thinking and their ways of methods and stuff is very unique. But it's not, because they always say like the Indigenous Australians are the oldest, not the civilization, but the oldest group of people or something like that. Like during the whole time, of all time.
Yeah, apparently. I hear that.
Yeah,
and I'm kind of like. I
How
want to know
though?
how they got to that.
Yeah, I don't know how they got to either. But
How did they, like, if I hear that, like
Yeah.
I said, but I want to see, like, someone walk me through this.
yeah. I'm not the guy to
'Cause
tell you, but that's just
Because you always hear that, like, everyone came from Africa, or humans came from Africa. Well, that was like the starting continent, and then they spread out from there.
yeah. Anyway.
And that people made it to Australia because they went through and around and managed to cut through when the tides was down, or when there wasn't as much.
The other thing with like the impact of Indigenous Australians is that because of the boomerang, there is a guy in Germany whose whole YouTube is dedicated to making weird versions of boomerangs. It's amazing. I don't know how.
Yeah, but okay. So I'll give you the boomerang for example. Don't they already have, like, what's a discus?
Frisbee, yeah.
Isn't there already, like, a frisbee? Isn't there already a type of frisbee that could come back to you before people?
I think so, but
before the boomerang.
I couldn't tell you.
Because I've seen that. I've also seen that weird thing that's like a cross that the guy throws and it spins and goes, or spins. It does like 2 loops and then comes back to him.
Yeah. I can't remember if I heard this correctly. Let me just double check before I confirm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So during World War One, there was an invention. It wasn't a really
The
good
boomerang
invention.
brigade.
The boomerang grenade.
No, brigade.
Oh, brigade. No. Close. The boomerang grenade.
You don't want that. You don't want that coming back.
One person designed a boomerang-shaped grenade and submitted the idea. The design was rejected after trials by the Australian Grenade Training School and never put into use.
Wait, that's an actual thing?
Yes, it was invented for one thing and it didn't pass the trials.
Of course, it didn't pass the trials. It
turns
worked
out-
too well.
As it,
Worked
turn-
too well.
as it turns out, a grenade that returns to you was not a popular idea.
No, I don't know why someone would think that was a good idea.
During World War One, they didn't have much thought, obviously.
How would a boomerang grenade work?
I don't
It'd have
know.
to be a metal shaped
Like a stick
boomerang,
grenade,
but it has like ball bearings and gunpowder in it or something.
Yeah,
so you
yeah.
flick it and then it starts the countdown. Whoosh.
Yeah, I don't know. But
But yeah, I just kind of had that thought the other day, and I was sitting there going,
okay.
like, what, like, I don't know. It made me think about the didgeridoo as an instrument, and I was like, I don't think it. Like, I was thinking about it by comparison to the piano. I was like,
Yeah.
like it's not that good an instrument, if you ask me.
I mean, so the thing with the didgeridoo is it's actually really hard to play because my dad can do it very well, where he can blow into it and still keep.
Isn't it lung capacity or
Yeah,
something?
well, kind of, but it's not only that. It's the matter of so when you're blowing through it to do the sound, you have to keep breathing through your nose. I can't do that when I've tried to do the didgeridoo, so I can play it, but only for like a really short time. Whereas my dad can blow into it and also
He can actually breathe through
at the
his
same time.
nose
so he
while
can
he's
just keep
breathing
going.
out,
He can just
yep.
keep going, and that's how the best didgeridoo players go. But saying like best didgeridoo players, it's not. Like I said, there's not too much to it. The thing with when I do it,
but
you do this sound,
wait a minute, what
you do
about
the blowing, and then
do
there's
they
like
do the same thing with the bagpipes? Do they do the
but
nose
then-
thing
but
as well, or not?
Yeah, yes, I want to say
Like, do they just go? "Doo-doo-doo-doo"?
because the air stays in the bag obviously after a while, so they can stop breathing for a little bit. But then I guess after so many notes,
Yeah, but
being
the force
played,
of
I
them
don't know.
blowing is what makes the sound, isn't it?
Yeah,
they gotta,
I
like-
think so. Yeah, because they're pressure on the airbag too. So
And you see their mouths are like,
see, people dislike didgeridoos, but they like airbags.
airbags. Wait, what do you mean? Do you mean like the
Bagpipes, sorry.
bagpipes? Okay.
Bagpipes. It's a
I
giant
mean,
airbag.
I don't really like the bagpipes, if I'm being honest, either. It's a more complicated instrument. And does it actually do... Is it similar in the sense that it doesn't do... Or does it actually do notes?
No, it does notes.
It does notes.
Does
okay,
notes.
well there you go. It actually can. You can manually change the notes. But if I was to go bagpipes versus didgeridoo, I'd rather hear someone play the didgeridoo than the bagpipes. The bagpipes sound like, I don't know, a screaming raccoon dog.
Troy,
Or something.
our episodes are instruments. We have notes. We do notes.
Mm-hmm.
We do notes. We are notes. Notes.
That's true. That's true. I'm trying to think. What's a worse instrument than the bagpipes?
I've got one.
Or not worse, but sounds like.
Oh, hold on.
It's something
Let me
that's
find it.
unpleasant to hear.
Give me in. Brace yourself in 3, 2, 1. There you go.
Oh no, I love the harmonica.
You do?
Harmonica's
Okay,
great.
fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not everyone's cup of tea.
I think it's fantastic in its simplicity.
Yeah, it is. This one's like
And
this one's a beginner's one because it only has like when you go. So it's got numbers instead of notes.
But also the sound isn't that unpleasant. I'm talking about an unpleasant
Yeah.
sound.
Yeah.
But for me, the harmonica and the didgeridoo are basically at the same level when it comes to that. The only reason I like
there's
the
more skill
harmonica
required.
is because
There's more skill
It's
for the
because-
harmonica.
you reckon.
Yeah, I mean, because the thing, like I said, with the didgeridoo, it's more breathing, getting your air circulation, and then the variety of what sounds you perform as well. Because like there's the kookaburra sound, and then there's also the dingo howling sound, which is really cool. There's a few other varieties of sounds I think, but I'm not sure what they're called. So yeah, didgeridoos are cool though. They're very unique. I like them.
I think I prefer the harmonica. It only in the sense that I think when I think of harmonicas, I think of like prisoners sitting in a cell going like they're playing, or like some old timey, some guys like working on. He's like doing the rail post, and it's like gonna hit me a thing, going down the stool. But when I think of the didgeridoo, I think of a half-naked Aboriginal man with white paint on him.
To be fair, I prefer the thought of the half-naked Aboriginal man than being in a prison cell. So
I mean,
you don't
yes,
see,
but
you don't
also
you don't see cellmates having didgeridoos because it comes a weapon. You can knock out with
yeah,
He's
one
just
guy's
in
like,
prison inmates knock each other out
and
with
then you just look
didgeridoos.
to the left, and there's another guy like,
Hey, that's my favourite song.
No, but I like it in the movie sense, because
Yeah,
you think
okay.
of a prisoner in a movie, and then it leads to a
Yeah.
continuing story that happens in the movie,
Well, sometimes you see them on like
or old westerns.
I mean, I don't know if this is accurate or not, but I feel like I've seen a movie where people have been on a ship and they're playing harmonicas, like the sailors are playing harmonicas.
Honestly, I'd
don't
probably
know.
prefer the I keep saying Aboriginal. I prefer the didgeridoo. I probably would prefer the didgeridoo if I saw a movie where someone's playing it and then they turned and went to hit someone with it afterwards.
Rabbit Proof Fence probably has that scene. I don't know.
No, it's not. That's not in Rabbit Fruit Fence. I've seen that movie multiple times. That is a brilliant and horrible movie.
Yeah, it's really depressing. It's so sad.
I love the movie, but I was like, holy crap.
I mean, I was in year 5
That's
when I
messed
saw
up.
it. That really, jeez, messed with my head. But anyway, how the heck did we go from talking about our song to Indigenous people? Amazing.
I was talking about the didgeridoo,
Yes.
so that led to Indigenous people.
What did didgeridoo?
Because you can't really talk about the didgeridoo without talking about Aboriginal.
No, and you have to,
in
and you
some
can't.
context.
You can't talk about didgeridoos without talking about the stupidest dad joke with didgeridoos. What did didgeridoo? Answered the phone when boomerang.
Oh no, that's terrible.
Yes, I slapped myself silly for that terrible joke. Yes.
All right, well, we'll move on from
Yeah,
music
I forgot
and-
one more highlight. Actually, it's a really dumb one. When I was at
and I was
work
going to say,
away, I was working near the cafeteria because there's a switchboard behind one of the doors. So I had to go in through this door, and then when I went to go through the door, I scared the crap out of this lady. She goes, "Oh, you scared the shit out of me!" And I said, "Well, at least you don't have to go to the toilet anymore." And that was like her reaction was the funniest thing to me though, because like,
what, when you said that?
no, like when she said she scared the crap out, like, yeah, when I scared her, that was just funny to me.
That happened to me earlier. A guy went, "Oh, hey, g'day," and I didn't see him. Like, I didn't know he was there at first, so I looked up. He surprised me, but you know when that moment someone surprises you for a split second, but you don't jump, you kind of like, "Oh, what's that person doing there?" And then I took my headphones out and was like, "Huh?"
Oh, yes.
It's happened a couple times. I've been in the middle of doing something. I've had my headphones. I've looked up, and some guy's standing there. I'm like, "What the heck are you doing there?"
In some bloke's house.
Got to overreact next time. Like, ah! They look at me. What was it?
Oh, that's right.
Nothing. I just saw your face.
No, I just remember what I wanted to talk about, but it's going to be so boring for you because you don't understand why I like it so much.
Excellent. Yes. Tell me all about this boring. Tell me.
WWE Elimination Chamber.
Oh, again. Oh,
It's quickly brief. It'll be brief. Best television I've ever seen.
Oh, you've got to watch Bold and Beautiful.
John Cena, if you remember who he is.
I know who John Cena
Turned
is.
heel for the first time in 20 years, and oh my gosh, the way they did it was mwah,
Just say
amazing.
turned into... They made him the bad guy. Just
Yes,
say that.
they did.
I don't know why they... Babyface and heel, it's the stupidest sounding
Good
thing
guy,
ever.
bad guy. It's just...
Why can't you just say that?
Because it doesn't... I don't actually know why the people say that, but...
Oh, man, he's a hill. Whatever that means. I don't understand how that... Like, do they
Achilles
got to
heel.
climb the hill? They're at the top of the hill? Babyface at least kind of makes sense. They're supposed to be
Yeah.
innocent or something. And also, John Cena, I thought he retired. Isn't he like 50 now?
Oh, heel was a slang term for bad guy in the early 1900s. Heel means under rule of a tyrant, but it's not often used like that these days. There you go.
Okay, so how old is John Cena?
He's 48?
There you go, he's almost 50.
Yeah, he's Mr. Hollywood now. He can't be... He's It's funny because Logan Paul is also obviously in WWE and Elimination Chamber, and he keeps talking about, oh, John Cena never rocks up for work because he's obviously busy filming movies. But I'm like, he's got a point. So yeah, it's funny because on the Friday Night SmackDown, the night before Elimination Chamber, they were doing this big promo for the PLE. And four of the 6 competitors were in the ring talking, and then John Cena's music hit, and because no one was expecting, everyone went absolutely ballistic because, oh my gosh, John Cena's here, but Logan Paul ran out instead. It was so freaking funny. But Logan Paul's actually terribly good in WWE, like as a person on the mic and in ring skills. So, dang it! I hate to say, it, but I like Logan Paul.
I see.
I need to watch. He did a podcast episode with Markiplier, so I've got that on my to watch list at some point.
Who did? Logan Paul.
And Markiplier did an episode together, a podcast together.
Oh,
I know, it's weird though. It's like
what is
such
that?
different worlds coming together.
What the? Oh, I don't like that. That sounds horrible. What do they even talk about?
I don't know.
Why? What podcast was this?
On Logan Paul's.
On Logan Paul's podcast.
It was done 2 years ago, roughly. So who knows?
It was probably talking about. Is that the one where Markiplier goes, "I have so much money, I don't know what to do with it all."
I think that was a different episode. I think.
No, that was a
No,
different
that
podcast.
might be
That
it.
was someone. That was. I think it was someone else's podcast.
Yeah,
actually.
maybe.
No, it was. I forget what the guy's name is, but no, it was from a different one.
Yes, I think it's from the guy who used to be in College Humor. No, not College Humor.
You're on the right track. Yes.
I forget his name, but anyway, the guy's become he left College Humor or something like that, and he's now doing interviews and stuff.
I only know that one line because basically, like they that's the one bit that like got played. I think a lot of people.
Yes, it was like short or
copied that.
something, Instagram short or something as well, YouTube short.
Which I'm guessing people did it because they think of when they think of Markiplier, they think of YouTube and they think of a lot of subscribers.
Yeah, he's rich, but he can't afford to make out his own movie yet.
No, he's rich, but he has to drive a Tesla for 4 years. It's broken down several times, and then finally decides to go to Ford. And then the moment he buys it, his friend's like, "Oh, you probably should have gotten the Chevy. It's like better." What is the Chevy got? What has the Chevy got?
Well,
Oh, it's got this.
so many more.
Oh,
better
I should have
things than
gotten
what
the
you
Chevy.
bought.
There's something about the fact that I think it's probably in their podcast, or probably it would have been in the podcast, but I think there's a point where he goes, "I don't understand people buying these big giant trucks."
And then he buys
one. And then he buys one. I'm pretty sure. It's like how he's like, I'm not a Mac man. I'm never gonna be a Mac man. I bought a Mac. It's great.
Yeah, Yeah, no. Shock twist, plot twist.
What I'm curious... So, I've noticed a couple of things, like, with their more recent episodes, right? And this is including with Go as well. They, that Mark's... I think that... Because he lives in... What is it?
LA.
Not LA. Is it LA? Yeah. And is LA in Florida, or is that the other side?
California.
California, okay. Because so it is the other side. It's the
Florida's
West
on the other
Coast.
side. Florida's East
That's
Coast.
right.
California's West Coast.
Yeah. I got him mixed up for a second because he was talking about the fires, and I thought the fires were in Florida, but no, they were in California.
California. I can sort of see how you got it mixed up, but it's all right.
But well, I don't know why, but people keep talking about
Troy,
Florida.
put it this way: at least you know what a Scottish flag looks like.
I do not.
And because I remember I've watched this. Damn, well, that goes against my point that I was going to prove, but anyway. I was watching, obviously, a surprise, a wrestling YouTube show, and they were guessing the Instagram... Guess the rest about the Instagram profile, and this obviously... Sorry?
What's the city in Florida? What's the main city?
Miami?
Is it Miami?
Yes.
Maybe that's why I got confused, because I was thinking LA. For some reason, I had it in my head that LA was in Florida for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't matter. Anyway,
so, this YouTube show that I watched for WE, and they were guessing the wrestler by their Instagram bio, and they were guessing a female wrestler, and she clearly had a Scottish flag in her bio, and now one of them was like, "Is that Australia?" I'm like, Americans are so uneducated. Get educated, please.
I mean, it depends on the American. There's probably there's a fair few of them out there. So
yeah, it's a
few dumb ones and a few smart ones.
Yep. Gotta crack a few eggs, and by a few I mean a lot.
But my point being, I think what I was trying to get to is, I think Markiplier has been in California for a bit longer.
Too long. He's been there too long.
I think his brain's starting
his
to stew
ADHD's
a
gone
little.
worse.
No, I just think he's like his brain, like the whole electric car thing and gas guzzling thing, and
Well, to be
like
fair,
he
hasn't talked about his render farm in a while.
No, he's talking about that.
Oh, is he? Oh, that's a shame.
He just brings it up for a minute or two.
Guns.
But you can kind of see how he doesn't, in certain aspects, he doesn't relate to his friends on Distractable, just because of where they live.
Yeah.
And California's known for being that sort of, I guess, a bit of an artsy-fartsy kind of place.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if we discussed about this, but there was a point where, before Trump went into power, that California was going to be its own country, was going to break away from the US.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, because it was whatever. So is Trump Republic?
He's Republican, yes.
So they were going to go. They want to go the other way because they were more.
All of California
conservatives
leans very far to the left of the political spectrum.
So they were. Yeah, it wouldn't affect them too much anyway. So.
Which
yeah.
I think a fair few people in California do not like Donald Trump.
Yeah, well, they obviously voted the other way, but didn't count much.
But frankly, I'm not too happy with him either, because you can't turn around and say that Ukraine started a bloody war they didn't start.
Yep, that's for sure. Yeah, well.
Oh, did you see the
You can talk about the Zelensky thing.
No, the AI Gaza video thing that they posted.
The AI Gaza thing?
So, I don't know if it was Trump or the White House or whatever their people, but it was some sort of official person made, AI videos, how you describe a situation, right?
Yeah.
They describe, someone must have typed in the prompt, right, for an AI video, Gaza, but it's been turned into a multi-million-dollar, yes, multi-million-dollar bloody getaway area. And it turned into, and it's got just look, it's so hilarious.
That's brilliant.
And
that sounds
stupid.
funny, actually. I can imagine what they're trying to do.
I'll put it this way: in the video, there are women wearing
bikinis,
traditional ballet dancers.
Yeah.
Like the agrabah, kind of thing, the style, and
Middle Eastern.
but they've got beards.
Oh. Well then.
So, a lot of people had a lot to say about that particular part of the video.
See, the problem is, because America's so uneducated, a lot of people who are pro-Trump will watch and think that's real.
No, I don't think they thought it was real. I think people were
a
like, "Are you
minority
taking the
of
piss?"
them, you know, just
No, this video was very like, if
very
anybody
bad.
thought this was real, they'd be like, you'd have to have never been on the internet or seen any kind of TV to think this is real.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, you can see things, but people don't believe it.
But it's also one of those things where why would like you've made AI images, right? You've like put
Images,
in the prompt
yeah.
and images, and we've done the songs and all that, right?
Yeah,
and you know how when we do the songs, we'll do like 2 or 3 or even a lot more
just
to get one that's good.
Yes, correct.
There's some shocking ones out there.
Hmm.
Well, it's like this person or the representative of Trump or the White House or whoever. It's like they took the very first one that was made and went, "That's good. We'll go with that."
They didn't give it feedback or anything.
It's like they went AI generate Trump saving Gaza and turning it into a paradise resort with belly dancers.
Bearded belly
It's like
dancers.
they put in the prompt, it made the video, and they didn't watch the video. They just posted it.
That's so good. That's so good. It's funny because like I'm beginning to realize now America is trying to take over the world, but in weird different ways. So, for example, right, in England, the Premier League is being just like they're going to change a bit of the rules, but the way they're going to change the rules is totally toward what NFL does for some of their rules. They're trying to make it more entertaining. Like everything's in the entertainment business. Like we talked about this in the previous couple of episodes ago, where sports are becoming entertainment.
The
now.
fact that like you've got the best NBA team and they
Yeah.
versus the European team and they
Yeah.
lost. Like
Yeah, and
the champions of the playoff winners
yeah,
versus like the winners of the European basketball thing.
yeah.
And because they weren't playing in an NBA game where the rules are twisted a little bit and there's no 400 steps, they apparently lost.
Yeah, so because I didn't look this up myself, but I heard on a podcast that they were saying the NFL is now listed as entertainment, not sports.
Help me out. So NFL is in rugby?
As in American football, gridiron.
American football. Okay, gridiron. Yeah, sorry, I was
No, you're right.
I always get NFL and
NRL.
NRL. Is that National Rugby League? Yeah, I always get them confused when someone says the abbreviation.
Yeah. So they're trying to dramatize, entertainmentize the English Premier League because of the VAR, the referee talking over the decision, whatever. It's just like. Because of America, the things that they do in America, other sports, in other countries are looking at that, going, how can we make that more better? I mean, it's not Asianification, it's more USification.
I mean, you could start by having. So it irritates me in the sense that because Australia has basketball, right, but we don't actually like. I've never seen any basketball games on TV or anything like that. And
Yeah, ESPN.
But there's no access to TV as much anymore. It is on ESPN.
Actually, it's also, I think it might be on Channel 10. No, there's one free-to-air channel where it might do one game a weekend.
That's what I mean. Like, I don't really actively search for it, but like all it would take would be one ad on YouTube or one ad somewhere here and there, or some sort of like.
Well, right now
or
they're
even-
in the playoffs, so
What, the basketball playoffs?
in
What,
Australia,
America's or
the NBL.
ours?
The NBL. Is in,
See, I got no idea. Like, I don't see anything about it on social media, on anything. Like, basketball is very under-promoted. Australian basketball is very under-promoted.
I mean, same thing with the A League, the soccer league. It's
I mean, soccer's a bit more promoted, especially with. It irritates me a little bit because I don't want to go on another rant, but the whole Matildas thing.
Oh yeah, I meant Marty Sheargold not shutting up.
Oh, the guy, the radio host guy. You talking about him?
Yes.
I'll tell you something funny though. When
She believes what men?
No, I watched someone talk
Dumb.
about the fact
So
that
dumb.
this radio host got. Like, I watched a YouTube channel where it talks about this radio host got fired because he
was
called out.
joking.
He said some bad stuff about the
He did.
Matildas, and then the guy played the clip right. And I don't know what other bad stuff he said, but basically he described they look like year 10, like they look like they were all.
Oh,
in
he
year 10.
reminds him that they remind him of year 10
year
girls.
10s. Year 10 girls. And the funny thing is, I looked at the image of the Matildas, And I was like, yeah, he's kind of right. It kind of looks like the girls I went to high school with in year 10. Like, I'm not being mean, but they do kind of like look like that.
Yeah, I think he meant that in a different way though, like in attitude or.
Yeah, I know he meant it as in like they don't look
Behavior.
like professional athletes or anything like that. But it kind of, I'd have to agree just by the look. Like I haven't seen the Matildas play and all that, but I remember a bunch of people got all excited and made a big deal out of. Was it last year or the year before?
Yeah, I can't remember if it was 23 or 24, but the Women's World Cup was here in Australia.
They got 4th place or something. Is that right?
Yeah, 4th or 3rd, one of those two.
Yeah, I was talking to Courtney. I'm like, why? Like, because they lost recently, and I was like to Courtney, why did everybody get like? Didn't they win or something in the finals or like?
Yeah,
4 years ago. She goes, no, they only got in 4th place. I'm like, why the hell was everyone so excited about it?
That's good though. Like for an Australian team in a World Cup, that's probably the best we've ever played.
I understand. That's what Courtney said. I get that, but why is everybody getting excited because they got fucking 4th place? Like,
well, the other thing is too. Apparently, like I think
I don't think anyone would care if the men really got. Maybe people would if they got 4th place. But I'm sitting there going like, I don't really care about 4th place.
Put it this way, right?
It's good, but at the same time, I want to get excited for for 2nd place or a winner.
So, the few things I need to tell you.
Even 3rd.
A few things I need to tell you. Matildas are apparently the number 1 Australian team across any sport or any code.
Because they got 4th place.
No. They're just currently the most popular team ever. They won like last year. They won the best team across all teams and across all codes. Like nationally recognised
for doing what?
For being the best team, just for being successful.
In what sense? Like what they
in success, which is weird because I don't know how you
like how do you measure success in regards to that.
I don't know.
I'm not dissing them. Like they are the top apparently. I just want to know how you measure that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. So yeah, they obviously came 3rd or 4th, which is the best any international team has done in a World Cup for Australia. The other thing is too, like the Australians. For the men, it's harder for the men because there's so much better countries out there.
I was going to say, like, when you compare not just men, but soccer in general, like, the Europeans live and breathe that shit.
Europeans and South Americans, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. They friggin', like, you can't... like, if they actually wanted to compete, they'd have to really, like, step up. Yeah. We'd have to really step up our
And the thing is, though, soccer in Australia is not even mainstream. It's not even close to mainstream.
I mean...
Put it this way though. Under 20s Australia Socceroos, so the men, under 20 men's, won the Asian Cup recently, and they beat the likes of Japan, Saudi Arabia, and I think Iran was one of them.
Did they verse China? Was China in the Asian Cup?
No, China's shit. No, honestly,
really?
No offense to China, but they're like one of the worst teams.
I find that very hard to believe because you think they dump a lot of money into that.
Plenty of years ago, North Korea had like the best underage team. I don't know how. But they were winning Asia Cups, World Cups. I kid you not, in the underage bracket. But yeah, insane.
But yeah, I remember thinking back, like why everyone got all excited, and I thought it was because we got 2nd or third, like we won or something.
Yeah.
And then I heard it was 4th place then, and I was kind of a little bit like, I get it, but at the same time, I can't really get that excited about that.
Yeah, that's fair. Because the other thing is I want to say too that. Radio guy. So the other comment he made was, so the guy was talking about the sport news. It's like, the Matildas aren't doing too well. You go, they remind me of year 10s. And then, they're participating
what else
in
did
this.
he say?
So they're participating in the She Believes Cup. And he goes,
that's right.
Men? I hope it's men. And then the other comment was...
I remember that, yes. I found that
the other comment was, they're going to hopefully host the Women's Asian Cup next year in Australia.
Yeah,
goes,
I heard that too.
I'd rather hit a nail on my penis than watch that.
Just say nail on my dick.
Well, yeah, whatever. But like, that's just so crude. Like, that's so dumb.
I know, but I don't think someone should get fired for that.
Well, to be honest, he's on thin ice because last year he had a run-in.
He had some other issues with something else.
Yeah, at an AFL game.
Oh, what happened to the AFL game?
I don't know. But he got stood down that time, and they brought him back. And then this time for good, they've said. The problem is though, Triple M, right? Triple M culture, like it's such a man culture at that station. So like they don't really. There's not much thought to like the lesser known of other things. Like, it's just such a blokey channel. Like, everything about it is so blokey.
Is that good or bad?
In a way, I think it's more bad than good because, it
needs a bit of feminine touch.
Well, that's the thing, though, because when they were doing this news report, there was a female in the studio at the same time. But she was laughing along with the guy. So,
there you go.
Triple M they've kind of dropped a lot. Like, I've stopped listening to their shows.
My question is, do you reckon the guy was like that because they were women or because they're not doing so well?
That's a good... I think it's because they were women. Because I think the whole point in the end was he doesn't like watching women's sport, full stop. It doesn't have to be just women's soccer, but any women's sport.
That's understandable. Honestly,
I mean, yeah,
that's completely understandable.
Women's AFL, it's called AFLW.
Has it gotten better?
It should be called AWFL because it's awful.
Okay.
No disrespect. Men play a lot better, and women, like, the problem with the women is that they keep dislocating. They keep, like, in the first...
They keep dislocating.
No, in the first 2 or 3 seasons, there were so many players going out
injured
with ACLs.
Well, at least they were, like... At least you can't say they didn't push themselves or try hard enough.
And it was funny because a lot of commentators were saying, well, it's because they're not built for, like, if you look at their structure, their skeleton, you'll see that their knees are built different.
I mean, not really. If it's a guy tackling a woman and she gets it, she gets injured, you could make that argument that she's not built to get, like the whole bone structure argument. Like, of course, if a guy tackles a girl, she's probably going to be the one who walks away with an LAC? ACL, thank you.
You're right.
I've heard it so many times, but I could not think of how to say it. ACL.
But not to be confused with PCL, by the way.
But if it's two girls tackling each other, like, the injuries should be about the same. Like,
well, that's the thing. Though, like, now I'm thinking, because he doesn't want to watch women's sports. The guy was an AFL fan, so I wonder if he watched his favourite team's females side.
I don't know.
Not, probably.
I struggle to get into AFL in general. Like, it's hard for me to watch. When I do watch an AFL game, I get really into it, but I struggle to get into it.
Yeah,
especially if my team's not playing.
I'm probably not going to watch it much at all this year, if at all.
I remember last time I watched an AFL game, and I always try to watch it when I can. It was the Anzac game.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
And I love watching the Anzac game, and it was the last one they did when they tied.
Yes.
And I was like, I was sitting there, I was stoked because it was so good, and it was quite funny because I remember my mate, my mate saying to me, like, he goes faster than 2, and he goes,
yes,
I'm happy with this result. Like, I'm happy with this. Like, I wanted, like, and because in his head he wanted to win, of course, but he was sitting there going, our side is shit compared to their side. Like, there's no way I don't think we're going to win this.
Yeah,
and then the fact that we tied, he was stoked, but he was still kind of like, I kind of wanted to win.
Because the problem I have is on Fox Sports News, because they always report whenever a season starts. There's been that many preseason injuries where people are going to miss like 9 to 12 weeks or even the whole season because they've done an injury in preseason. The whole point of a preseason is to be trained to be fit, but if you're going to go and injure yourself, well, that sucks, and I'm not interested because that player's not going to be playing.
I'll bring this up again because, like, so I struggled again to watch AFL in general. So when I watched half a game of WAFL, I was kind of like, I'm not really. I'm looking at it going, I'd rather go out and play myself than watch, and that's me in sports in general.
Yeah, that's fair.
What I found interesting is because they, Go.
Yes.
An episode came up and they were talking about and they bring her up a lot. Actually, no, it was they talk about Caitlin Clark.
Oh, Caitlin! Oh my gosh, the whole world revolves around Caitlin Clark. According to Go.
Yeah, I'm sitting there going, like, is she? I've heard that she's really, like, that good at basketball that she outcompetes all the female.
Well,
WNBA
the other thing is too
players.
that they talk about it like she's a whole reason why the Women's National Basketball Association is surviving.
Well, that's the funny thing. They actually, in that episode, they talk about that specifically, and they give the stats saying that basically she is the reason why they.
Which is a joke.
They showed stats showing that when she doesn't play in games, like, attendance and viewership drops like by 30% or something.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen this girl play. I've only heard drama about how they didn't want her for the USA team, like
The playoffs, like the
Olympic
playoffs.
team or something. It was the Olympics or something.
Yeah, there was some stupid.
And so she went and played for
that's
because
right,
she
it
must have
was.
had a citizenship or something with another country.
Oh, really?
I think, and she went.
That's
I
funny.
think, if I remember correctly, I could be wrong.
I think the
but she
problem
went
was though the Olympics
She went
were
and played
on during
with
the
this
season.
other. She went and played with this other team because they didn't want her, not specifically because she didn't. Part of it was she didn't jazz well with like the coaches and all that. She had issues with the coaches, but also it was kind of a bit more of a we don't want you around kind of thing.
Yeah,
You make us look bad or something. So she went, all right, I'll just play for this other team, and because she played for that other team, they won and beat the US team or something.
okay. Yeah, I'm
I
not familiar
think
with that.
I'm paraphrasing here from what I heard.
Yeah,
so I don't know if it's accurate or not, but that's from what I heard. I think from Go or something else.
I mean, I don't want to talk about it too much because I don't want to talk about Go either. But I think the main thing was the women's season was still going on when the Olympics were going. So they kind of wanted to stay at the club or in the US.
Oh, is that it?
I think that's what it was. I'm pretty sure. It's kind of like with the men's team, like the NBA teams don't want to lose their best players because it's during mid-season or whatever.
Yeah, that's well. You
That's
say
what
that,
happened-
but
that's what happened
Didn't they
in the-
put together like a base of a team last Olympics?
Yeah, that was in Tokyo, yeah. And then towards the very end, when they made the gold medal match, they brought their best players in. So they were listed on the squad, but they didn't play the first few games in the round robin games or whatever.
I watched the Australian game or part of it. Like I watched clippets for it, and was just like, oh god, they're fucking. This was the qualifiers or something.
Okay.
I was watching Australia versus US, and it was just kind of brutal because they were sitting there and they were basically playing with our team the whole time.
Yeah.
Like they almost kept it purposely, like that slight 10-point lead or something.
Yeah.
And then we caught up like a little bit like in the third quarter.
Yeah.
We caught up to like 6 points or something. So they went, all right, we better get ahead a little bit then, and just went
They
boom,
blew them
boom,
out of the
boom.
water.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I remember that.
And I was sitting there, going, "Oh no!" And then, because the qualifiers, because they got like third or fourth place in the qualifiers, people were like, "Oh man, the US team is really sucking. Man, they really suck this year." And so I gotta love the Americans got insulted. So they were like, "All right, let's get the best."
Well, the whole reason why they sucked is because they were their own fault for the reason why they sucked, because they didn't want to let certain players go.
No. They only wanted to get into the. They were sitting there going, "We just need to get the qualification." We just need to get the qualification. Why would we? Like, we'll just send a couple of players out there to get the qualifiers.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And but because they only got fourth place in the qualifiers, it made it look like they were doing badly. And then people pointed out, no, most of the players were like bench warmers in the NBA teams or something.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because like we mentioned about the Matildas and like why everyone was so happy about being third or fourth. Like in the Tokyo Olympics, they were making a big fuss about why the Australian Boomers got bronze. Like there was a big spill on Song and Dance about, Australia came third in the basketball Olympics. I mean,
wait,
they've never won a medal, but
qualifiers?
no, this is in the Olympics last 2021 the Tokyo Olympics.
Oh, okay. We got third place, did we?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's the first time they've ever medalled in the basketball.
Wow.
And-
Wait, they got third place in the Olympics. So did they make a big deal out of that or not? Did we make a big deal? Because I didn't hear anything about it. I didn't hear much. But when I heard about the Matildas last year, it was everywhere.
Yeah, that's because like I said, the women's soccer team, Aussie soccer team, is the most popular team in Australia.
But I don't know why. Like it was then that they became popular. Like when they got fourth place.
I just realised why they're so popular. It's kind of like with Caitlin Clark. There's a player called Sam Kerr. She's the main reason why the women's.
What is she like? Really, really good or something?
Yes, she plays.
Like
she plays in the English Women's Premier League for Chelsea. Chelsea like one of the best teams in the world.
Like the
almost.
UK team.
Yes.
Okay, yes.
Yes.
Ah,
I think
okay.
that's why, because she's there, and I think that basically is one of the reasons why the Matildas are so popular. So that's the thing though, like with Caitlin Clark, if she went to America's, she'd be,
Didn't one of them like say something or get into a fight in Britain with some dude or something?
that
and
was
they
Sam Kerr with a cop.
Was that her?
Yes.
Was that the girl?
Yes.
So she's the one. She's the really good player, and she like
Yes.
yeah. She said, did she say the cop was racist, or was
Yes.
she racist towards the
Oh,
cop?
it was kind of, well, it wasn't, the comment she made wasn't really even racist, I don't think.
No,
She's-
but people were saying she was being racist.
yeah,
or
maybe,
something.
I don't know. It's funny because she's actually technically indigenous.
That's what I mean. Apparently she was being racist towards the British white cop.
Oh, no, you're
something.
so white, Troy, you're so white.
I do find that funny that people were saying you're being racist towards a white person. I'm like, oh my goodness, it's
What, a
happening.
wigger?
You can be racist to white people now.
Such a wigger.
A wigger.
Yeah.
A wig.
Have you
I
not
don't
heard
think
this
so.
before?
I don't think so. I've never heard that.
Really? Wow.
I've never heard that, and I don't think I'd ever say it because,
Okay.
like, in public, because it's too close to the original.
Yeah, I know,
That,
I know,
that someone
I know.
could mishear quite
Yes,
easily.
of course. Fine, I'll beep it out, but fine.
No, don't beep it out. It'll make it sound worse.
Okay, sure. Oh, yeah, good point. Probably.
It'll make it sound like you said the N word.
I can't remember where I heard it from, but I did it from a movie or something, but I definitely have heard it before somewhere. Yeah.
Now do it with an Asian Asian.
No, I don't.
All I
want to.
think of, I think of like biology agar, like an agar plate.
Oh, okay. Right. Gotcha. It's not that. It's not that, Peter.
Oh, that's so stupid.
It is dumb.
Yeah, I've never heard that term.
Oh, maybe it was Dave Chappelle I heard him say. That makes sense.
Oh, I don't know.
Might have been Dave Chappelle. I don't know. I've definitely heard it somewhere, though. Yeah, it's dumb.
Oh, how I don't understand how people that I can imagine
why people are getting offended.
Sorry, I can just imagine far right people, but they're idiots using that.
I think the main, like going back to the Sam Kerr thing, I think the main reason why the cop was upset was because he couldn't take it from an Aussie girl.
Ah. I want to know. I got to look this up real quick. Because why would she? Did she get in trouble because she hit him, or was she being racist, or was he being racist?
Just verbal. No, she was just being verbal.
All right, let's find out.
I believe.
Who was it again?
Sam Kerr, double R, with a K.
Double R with a K.
Yep. So K-E.
So K-E-double-R.
Yeah, I don't know why I
no.
spelled it like that, but anyway. You know, Kerr, double R, starts with a K. Guess what the third letter is? Second letter is even.
Sam Kerr, police officer. Sam Kerr's former Chelsea manager tips her to recapture her best form until the sufferer. After her parents break.
Yeah, she's been away for about a year.
There's racial harassment trial.
What did she actually say?
Yeah, it says Chelsea star Sam Kerr, this is BBC, cleared of racial harassment.
Mm-hmm.
Has been found not guilty of causing racially aggravated harassment after calling a metropolitan officer stupid and white. There you go. Mr. Kerr, 31, said she was antagonized by the officers after she was taken to the police station by a taxi driver following a dispute. Did not deny using the word stupid and white, but denied the amount of racial offence.
You're so stupid and white.
Ms. Kerr clearly
so
by the
dumb.
jury after deliberating for 4 hours. They spent 4 hours trying to figure this
There
shit
were lots
out.
of theories saying that the cop who was offended was
Egged her on, or
no. If he could have been like a Arsenal supporter or a Tottenham supporter,
Ah,
who's like a
yeah,
Chelsea
yeah, I
rival.
get
That
you.
was a theory. I'm not sure if it was found to be true or not, but yeah.
thanked her supporters' family. Yeah, so there you go. Is that all she did? She just called him
Yep.
stupid and white.
Yep. bloody British
See,
people.
I think that's the dumbest thing ever to like charge
really
someone saying that's a racial slur. But at the same time, every time I think, like, if someone who said that to a black person, or if someone said "you stupid Aboriginal," for example, or "stupid blackie" or something, see, it sounds bad.
Yeah, of course.
And I feel like people would get charged for racial slur for saying that.
I mean, the thing is, though, would you say it to a cop? Like if you were in a
No,
situation?
I don't care. I don't care if he's if he's black, white, or blue. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm not saying like that to a cop. I'm saying yes, Mr. Officer. Sorry, Mr. Officer. I won't do it again, Mr. Officer. So.
You saying I don't care if they're white, black, or blue? That reminds me, I need to make your dude in the wrestling game I got. I haven't done that yet. That'd be funny.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yes.
Yeah.
But if I ever get like charged by a police officer, he's most likely going to be an Indian bloke.
I don't think because I've done a lot of I've worked at police stations before. Not many Indian officers, to be honest. I've seen.
Really?
Yeah,
that's
not many at all.
Because the past couple of times I've dealt with an officer, he's been Indian.
Okay. Yeah, I've probably seen
and the last time with the car accident where that person hit me, it was an Indian bloke and it was an Asian bloke.
Okay. Yeah, probably more East Asian guys cops than Indians I've seen, but
yeah.
Yeah, I think.
I shouldn't assume the guy was Indian. He was wearing a turban, so.
Oh, I mean that's obvious, a safe bet.
So I would assume he was Indian.
Yeah, no. So, I think the majority ethnicity of a cop is Aussie.
I just wouldn't egg on a cop in general.
No, not with today's eggs prices. Have you seen the prices of eggs these days? Jeez.
Yes. Well, you can't get any.
Yeah, if you're lucky.
I
said to my wife about maybe you could just buy eggs from Amazon, if you're desperate. But then they probably wouldn't survive the trip.
That's fair enough.
But anyway. All right. Well, we've yapped on for a good hour and 18 minutes apparently. So I think we should
sweet. We'll leave it there then.
Yes. I think that's what's for listening. Be sure to check out our Patreon because there's so many good benefits. You could totally be benefiting from those benefits.
Yep.
So.
Well, I'm out, guys.
Yep.
This is what's cool now. I think I'm done.
Yep,
I no
me
longer
too.
have any connection to this world.
Neither.
I'm gonna go home.
Can I come?
Hold on. I got the best one.
NANI?
Yeah, that works.
All right, I'm done.
Shinderu, nani?